Well, one thing that's getting noticed around the world is the star in the southwest. So I find that exciting because I did a video on that years ago on the second sun. To correlate the both, the star and the sun, because so people understand what's going on. It's not Venus, it's not Jupiter, it's not Mars. And so there's other people out putting out videos on what is this star in the southwest, and it seems like no matter where you live, everybody's seeing this bright, brilliant, beautiful star in the southwest. And so imagine, if you will, that in the east in the morning, there is a second sun, and this is a planet behind the sun, and it's usually off maybe 40 degrees or whatever. It's directly behind it, usually off to the side of it. And this planet, this second sun, travels with the sun during the day, but it's not noticeable then. It's usually most noticeable at sunrises and sunsets, and that's when you see most pictures being plastered all over the place about two suns rising or two suns setting. During the day, it's pretty high up, and so it's not as noticeable. Because of the sunrise and sunset, you see the different colors setting in, and when the different spectrum of colors starts to appear, that's when you typically see it. But when it's traveling and following the sun as it traverses the sky during the day, the sun sets in the west at night, the second sun will just sit there. And at nighttime, I've been watching the star. I first noticed it in 2008, so it's been a good 8 years now. And at night it appears a bright, brilliant white star. And it hasn't gone anywhere. It disappeared for a little bit last year because I went to the southern hemisphere. Went down to Australia, say hello to everybody down there. But it's typically can be seen anywhere around the world. I know Alaska and other countries have gotten great pictures of it, other states. And so at night it'll appear as a brilliant white star. Sometimes it's very bronze. And I was looking at it the other day, and it was like a huge diamond shape in the sky. It was just brilliant. It was beautiful. It's gorgeous. This is what I call the second sun, the twin sun. And if you're part of my gang, we all just kind of joke around, and we call it EP, Enoch's planet. And if you've been listening to my show for a while, you've probably heard that terminology, and you're thinking, what is Enoch's planet? And I know the Father and those in heaven all laughed and giggled that we call it Enoch's planet, because if you tell people what it really is, they wouldn't believe you. Most people don't believe me anyway. I'm blacklisted. I've been blacklisted since 2006. I'm not even allowed to have interviews on TV or radios, anything government controlled. They're not allowed to touch me with a 100-foot pole because they know I'm a prophet of the Most High and they know I speak the truth, and they want to suppress me as much as possible. And so that's what they do. They put you on the blacklist. And so I have my own radio show since 2005 and started the Oregon War against them. And I've been working in the background pretty much because, I'm suppressed from being in the foreground. And so, anyway, we've called this star, this twin sun, Enoch's planet, because in the book of Enoch, which has been suppressed out of the English KJV version, now if you go to the Ethiopian original version of the KJV, it's in there, the book of Enoch. If you look at the Catholic version of the KJV, called the Apocrypha, Enoch is in there. But if you look at the American KJV version, Enoch is not in there. Why isn't Enoch in there? Enoch was noted by one of the greatest men who walked with God. So why isn't Enoch in there? They refer to him in the KJV, but his book has been suppressed. Enoch revealed a lot of truths that the Masons who controlled the KJV and religion in America didn't want American Christians to have. And so it's like they do to most people that speak truth. They put you on the blacklist. They try to suppress you. That's exactly what they did to Enoch by leaving him out of the American version of the KJV. Enoch spent 365 days of his life on earth in actual heaven with the Most High. He was taken up to heaven and shown things and revealed things. And yet, the churches today don't even know who he is. So we call it Enoch's planet because in the book of Enoch, he describes a planet. Now, mind you, he's in the Middle East. The Garden of Eden was in the Middle East. It was not in Iraq. It was in what we call today Yemen. It was that whole area there of Jordan and Yemen and the Gulf of Aden, which is actually the Gulf of Eden. That is the area of the Garden of Eden. And so he's penning these words that the Father was building a planet, a place in heaven for the elect and the righteous between the north and the west. And he's describing this place, this abode, this residence, this habitation for the elect and righteous to go when they would die and leave the earth. And it was a planet from the Middle East, and he's looking at the north and the west. This was the place for the elect and the righteous. Now, what do we know is a place for the elect and the righteous to go when they die? They go to heaven. In Hebrews, it says to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord, if you're a believer of His. And so when you leave this earth, you go to heaven. And what does Enoch say? That this place for the elect and the righteous, being built between the north and the west, is a planet. And this planet typically resides behind the sun. Anyone, well, I don't know if when you think of heaven, the light of the Father illuminates it. It illuminates it. That's the light of the sun. It illuminates heaven. In another dimension, the sun is something else. In this dimension, it looks like a hot lake of fire, because that's what it is in this dimension. So this planet, EP, has been making, it's astounding. I don't know, I've been watching it since 2008, when I first noticed it above my house. And there used to be 2 brilliant stars in the sky every night. That's what caught my attention. And, of course, if you listen to the astronomers, especially in Carrollton High School, they'll tell you it's Venus. Yeah. Or they'll start naming planets. It's all got to be a planet, because they're ignorant. They don't know anything. So I'm watching these planets, and I'm thinking, I know that the one. I didn't know what the other one was, but I knew the one was that Shima star the New Agers were talking about. Because what they wanted to do, they were trying to mimic the star of Bethlehem, have their big Bethlehem star in the sky to announce their arrival when they arrived to Earth. And so I found out the name of the star that they were describing, and it was Shima. I'm looking out at night, and I'm thinking one of those has to be Shima. I didn't know which one it was, but I'm thinking one of these has to be Shima. I don't know what the other one is. I had no idea at the time that was the heavenly planet, that was Enoch's, what we would call Enoch's planet. Because I'm just thinking, there is no way I can get on a radio and say that's heaven. That's the heavenly planet Enoch spoke of. A place for the elect and the righteous. And so I just started calling it EP, Enoch's planet, because it's described in the book of Enoch. A little bit probably easier for people to handle than we're going to a planet. Most people don't understand that heaven is a planet. They think it's the top floor of the universe. That our solar system and everything is just all below heaven or something. We do this to ourselves. We imagine things in our own minds the way we believe that they are, you know. But yes, heaven is a planet, and there are several heavenly planets. But the one Enoch describes is for the elect and the righteous. Because Yahushua's bride will be part of this heavenly planet Enoch saw being built. So this is the star. Oh, back to my story. So I started pointing a pipe, an orgone pipe, at the Shima star. I was pointing it at both of them. One of them thrived. One of them didn't bother at all. And the other one started turning yellow. So I'm thinking, that's Shima, because, you know, evil hates positive energy, especially my orgone. And so what eventually happened was the brilliant white Shima star ended up as today, it is a yellow ball on the eastern border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. It can't even move. They can't even move it. It's just stuck there. It's been stuck there since 2008. People always look out the sky at night and they see this yellow-orangish star in the east. Like, what is that? I'm like, oh, that's Shima. It's there all the time. Can't move. And that, folks, is the star, the lamp, that will crash into the Atlantic that Revelation chapter 8 describes. Shima will crash. Shima, this yellow-orange ball in the east, is Lilith's home planet, rock, star, whatever you want to call it. It's not a gas ball, folks. None of these stars are gas balls. They're all planets. They're little planets, but they're planets. They might just be huge rocks that we think of because they don't have, like, trees and grass and that kind of thing. They're just these huge barren balls of rocks in space, like big asteroids. That's what they are. And they're hollowed out. And in the center of these stars, these big balls of rocks in space, is where they habitate. Or cohabitate, I don't know. But in Shima was the one that was, the whole V series was about, you know, because they show this big mall and this big metropolis, and that's Shima. That's what's inside Shima, a big metropolis type thing. And there's also a big golden temple to Lucifer there. And that's where Lilith has lived since she was banned off the earth. When she left Adam, she was banned off the earth, but she comes back. That's where she's had all of her offspring. She throws them out into space. And, you know, Shima is where the Ashtar Command, the Galactic Federation, New Agers will understand all that lingo. It's theirs anyway. That's what they call them all and stuff. And that's where they're based at. So Shima has huge significance to Lilith and Lucifer's control on the earth. Because it's where they reside. It's where Maitreya and Sananda, and, you know, all of them, they have their temple there, their horror centers, you know, everything is there. Shima, it's huge. It's not like a starship, folks. It's like a miniature planet. Like a moon. Like a barren moon on the outside, but on the inside it's all hollowed out. That's what all these stars are like. I've told you, it's constellations. They're alien formations. They're habitations for these aliens, fallen angels. It's where they live. People think, oh, they're millions and millions of light years away from the Earth. They can get to Earth from Shima in 10 minutes. You just ride the portals. That's all you do. You follow the portals all the way to Earth. There's portals. There's gateways, entranceways. You can get from Shima to Earth in 10 minutes. You could get just about to Earth from any one of our constellations in probably 10 to 20 minutes. So it's not this humongous, belangering space travel thing They want you to believe. It's all hogwash, folks. They've always lied to you. So this southwest star in the night, the Father's been brilliantly seen. More and more people are catching on to that's Father's star. That's a heavenly planet. They call it Nibiru. They call everything Nibiru in the sky that they don't understand. Oh, look, there's Nibiru. So you'll see videos on Nibiru, and it's the second sun. It's Enoch's planet. Nibiru is a red sun. Nibiru is a lava red sun with a red dust tail. They call it the dragon because of its tail. It even has wings. Looks like it has wings. Nibiru's red. It's not Nibiru. If Nibiru was that close to Earth, you wouldn't even be alive. I hope Earth would done flipped 100 times. Because Nibiru is a beast. Nibiru is huge. It's bigger than Jupiter. Probably 10 times the size of Jupiter. So imagine if Jupiter was that close to the Earth. And Nibiru, it's not his time. I know everybody who's always so eager to make their little false videos and their predictions. You know, they're all based on Nibiru coming in. It's just not time. It's coming, yeah. But back up a little bit, down the road a little bit. You know, did you hear me pulling my hair out, screaming martial law in World War III last month? No. No. I knew it wasn't coming. And yet you have the churches doing cartwheels so you can get the fastest video out on martial law coming by elections. Elections are going to be stopped. There are no elections. That's what we just said. Elections. Did you hear me getting involved with that? No. So don't tell me any of those people are hearing from the Most High, because they're not. The events are in the plan. Now the event is these ascended masters, all these little freaks from Shima, little yellow ball stuck on the east border of Ohio and Pennsylvania. They will arrive to Earth as gods. And this is what all the New Agers are waiting for, and they call it the event. There's also another event coming, which I have been talking about for years, and one I'm more interested in. And that is why people are seeing EP in the Southwest and so brilliant and so diamond and so gorgeous. Because he's letting us know our redemption is here. Because when the elect and righteous are redeemed off the earth, they will go to EP, Enoch's planet, heaven, the place prepared for the elect and righteous. And he's letting us know he's here. Now, he's been here throughout the years. But now he's allowing his presence to be made known. Because he wants people to know that about our redemption draweth nigh. It's actually literal. Because it's drawing closer. This heavenly planet that will redeem us is coming closer. Exciting times we're living in. Now, he could tarry. He could sit up there for a while. Or he starts redeeming his elect off the earth. His elected righteous. All of them at the same time? No. All of them at that particular first time? No. There's different departures for different groups. That's why so many people have so many different ideas of when the rapture occurs. You know, they have dreams, so it's, you know. Well, what I seem to think is that they're being shown when they're leaving. Doesn't mean everybody, but maybe their destiny is to be here to a certain point, and then they leave. Because I know for a fact that my faction, the Oregon Warriors, a group I started back in 2004, really started rolling in 2005, and we've become known as the Fraction. I call ourselves Faction 4. We were a faction of the faction of 144,000 elect. because the Lord took us aside and made us our own branch, our own group out of the elect. And that's what he'll do, because he separates people in groups. And he gave us our own branch on the tree, our own group out of the 144,000. And this branch, this group of Orgone warriors that are part of the elect, will be one of the first ones taken off of the earth, redeemed off of the earth. That's why you can't peg when we're leaving, and that's what drives Lucifer ballistically insane, because he wants us gone. He wants the Orgone warriors gone. There is a removal of the elect before the sixth seal. There is a sealing of the bride on the earth after the sixth seal. 144,000 will be sealed on the earth, which means they're not taken when the first part of believers are taken. They're left here. And then, the Church of Philadelphia, described in Revelation chapter 3, they're removed before the mark of the beast is enforced. So that's another group of believers that are still hanging around after the first removal off the earth of the Lord's believers. So people are going to be shocked and stunned. Why wasn't I taken? Why didn't I get to go? It's not their time. And yet even more of them won't be taken at all. They're going to be allowed to be persecuted and have to go through the FEMA camps and the destruction that's coming on earth, because their faith is not found perfect before the Lord. They anger him. And so he's going to allow them to sit here and go through the trials and the tribulations to prove their faith to him. So EP has made its presence. Most people waking up to the southwest star here. A lot of nights it's hidden. They do their best to blacken out the skies so people can't see it. But I'll tell you what, when people do see it, it's gorgeous.